Yo, what is up, YouTube? Back with another video. Today, we are going over the first AFC wildcard game, Browns at Steelers. Being the genius I am, I predicted the playoff bracket 100% correctly, and I expected this to be the outcome. I expected the Bills to destroy the Dolphins, look at that, and I was expecting the Browns to beat the Steelers since their backups were out. But to a big surprise, the Steelers almost beat the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland with 9 of their starters out, and especially with Ben Roethlisberger out of the lineup. Truly was a good and probably the best performance from Mason Rudolph in his NFL career. And I hope that when Ben retires, that's how Mason Rudolph plays. I wish that we could have seen that Mason Rudolph in 2019, but we didn't. We saw the garbage Mason Rudolph. But all that being said, the Cleveland Browns beat a backup squad from the Pittsburgh Steelers, backups, and they celebrated like they won the Super Bowl. It doesn't make sense to me. I was honestly laughing. As a Steelers fan, I was actually hoping the Steelers would lose because playoff seeding would actually be better if they played the Browns. I think the Browns are the easiest wildcard team in the AFC to play. So I was actually glad that they lost for that purpose. But I was honestly laughing that the Steelers almost beat the Browns starters with literal backups. So that being said, the exact same game is going to be played the following week, but this time it is in Pittsburgh, and the Steelers are actually going to try. So I thought it was pretty smart for Tomlin to sit out their starters, gave them a week of rest, a bye week they deserve. And honestly, I think it helped the receivers. Mason Rudolph was throwing downfield, something Ben Roethlisberger doesn't do. But, that actually helped Deontay Johnson and Claypool play better games. One of the better performances by their offense this season, even without Ben Roethlisberger. So with that being said, I believe Big Ben is going to do the same thing against the Cleveland Browns this wildcard weekend. And he's probably going to throw downfield more than often. You already know the Steelers, they like to get the ball out quickly, and that is something they've done the entire year. So I'm going to expect a change here. I expect Claypool, Deontay to get downfield and to get, long receptions, something this team doesn't normally do. So that is the first thing that I would like to see and probably will see in this matchup. Another thing with the Steelers offense is obviously their rushing offense is the worst. I think it's ranked last in the league because they don't run the ball. I'm not going to say it looked really good against Cleveland because it didn't, but it looked better than normal. Even though it didn't have that many rushing yards, it looked better than normal. And we're playing the same team, and they're starting the same people, and we're actually getting better players back on our offensive line. I expect the Steelers to run the ball pretty similar to, the Week 17 matchup. Probably do a little better, but that's, probably the best. So not a lot of rushing yards by Pittsburgh in this game probably, and I'm expecting to see a lot of passing plays just like normal. Honestly, I think Cleveland's defense is, it's not the best, it's not the worst. So if the Steelers just have a decent day on offense, they can throw their receivers, get first downs, and score touchdowns. I believe Pittsburgh's offense is going to put up 27 to 37 points in this game. 37 is an overstretch, but I believe it's going to get in the high 20s this game and do a pretty good job. So the thing about this game is that, it's going to be a repeat of the Week 17 matchup. It's not really much to say because you already know what's going to happen. But one thing that is going to be different is the Cleveland Browns offense is not going to play as good as it did in Week 17. And it is because the Steelers, they benched probably their best players on defense besides Minkah Fitzpatrick. It was a good, option to leave him in there. He had some great plays. But TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, they were out of that defensive line. The Steelers defensive line still had a couple sacks, and it didn't allow the rushing game to be that effective, especially in the second half. But one thing the Browns really did good in Week 17 was Baker Mayfield's ability to scramble out of the pocket and run the football. both TJ Watt back and, the rest of their defensive line. I believe that's not going to happen again. And it's obviously going to be a struggle for Cleveland's offense in Pittsburgh on this wild card weekend. I expect them to try to run the ball, but once they fail, they're going to go to passing the football, which the Steelers would love to see because they have an incredible pass defense. But one notable thing is that Joe Hayden is going to be out in this game because of COVID protocols. Obviously, it's not good, and I think Donovan Peoples-Jones, the Browns receiver, is going to have, once again, another decent day. And especially, they're going to target where Joe Hayden would normally be, but it's not that big of a deal. I believe the Steelers' defense is going to play really, really good in this game. And honestly, I see Cleveland scoring 14 to 20 points. That's it. They might even score like 10 points at the most. I just got a feeling the Steelers' defense is going to play really good. And the Steelers' defense in the second half of games has been playing lights out. So if they can just maintain that in the first half of games, then I believe Cleveland's offense is going to have a struggle on the day. So honestly, at the end of this game, I'm expecting Pittsburgh to win. They're obviously the better team. The best part about playing them the week before is you know exactly what they're going to do. It's almost impossible to change your game plan in 1 week, especially when you're playing the same team twice. I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland came out with different strategies, though. Their head coach, Kevin Stefanski, honestly, I believe he's a really great coach. He was a great offensive coordinator for the Vikings and obviously led this team to 11 wins. Big respect for him. I'm expecting, similar plays by Cleveland's offense, but probably some little trick plays in there. There and there, here and there. We're just going to have to see what happens. But honestly, I see, Pittsburgh's defense just having a great day with TJ. I think Alex Highsmith is just getting better over the weeks. That's good. Cam Hayward. The Browns' offensive line, it's not enough to contain. I expect a lot of sacks and not a lot of rushing yards by Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. But like I said, I believe Cleveland is going to get yards by passing the football. It's been pretty effective for them recently. And obviously, they're going to target where Joe Hayden would normally be playing. Donovan Peoples-Jones, Jarvis Landry. So, I think that is basically it. I don't think the Browns' defense is good. Honestly, I think Pittsburgh is going to score, like I said, 20 to 30 points. And I think Pittsburgh is going to win this game. It's going to be a good game, especially since these are divisional rivals in the wild card. Pittsburgh wants to win this. They want to win the Super Bowl. They got the team to do it. Is Pittsburgh going to win? Yes. Is Cleveland going to have a good game? I don't know. They could. Or honestly, I'm pointing towards Cleveland having a really, really bad game. So comment down below your predictions. I got Pittsburgh winning this game 27-17. Thanks for watching. Adios.